good.
All right, let's go around. And this is the museum,
because
right?
of our age, you know, we're
Our age. Don't put me in with that. Don't you dare put me in with that.
All right,
your age.
Well, to expedite the process,
and because
we'll take the golf cart.
Yeah, and the shop is so massive.
That's right. The
It's
whole facility is
oh
that
my
massive.
God, it's out of control. And the golf cart, let's be honest, it's pretty cool.
It is a cool.
All right, this is the car's golf cart. Because
it's the on-site golf cart.
On-site, off-site here. We'll get the. Oh, look how fancy that is. I don't know.
It looks fast just sitting still.
It does. It does.
And if I'd known you were coming today, I could have probably even cleaned it up.
Yeah. Well,
but
whatever you say.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that, but you know, that's what you got to tell yourself to make you feel better at the end of the day.
All right, now we haven't supercharged this one yet.
Not yet?
Yeah, no. So
do I get to take this on the racetrack?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put nitrous on it when we do that.
Nice. Now we're talking.
We might have to beef up the transmission though if you're driving.
That's because you give me defective car. Not defective. I shouldn't say that. Cars that are past their prime.
Oh, no.
Past their prime.
No, I was thinking more like drivers past their prime.
Come on now. I put some smoke and lap times on that car. We know that.
Yeah. So
smoking.
This is kind of the entry now. You're going to have to be careful because he's pressure washing.
Is he now? And
this little Bugatti is almost ready to be delivered.
That's
here.
pretty cool.
This is actually pretty interesting. It's the girlfriend of one of the guys that works here, and this was her father's car. This is a car that when she was a kid that she actually was in.
No kidding.
Yeah. Now we might have to.
Rick will spray us. That I know. He'll spray you for sure.
Well, this is the water hazard. This is the water hazard of the shop right here.
Rick or the water apparatus?
Well, I know he's excited because we got a new pressure washer.
Oh, a new
You
sprung. There you go. See?
That would happen. But this is a very rare car too.
Yeah.
Yeah, very rare. This was a fire.
Really?
Yeah, fire restoration. They
unfortunately the fuel line split.
Yeah, we can just kind of go through. As you can see in the shop, what we try to do is keep all of the cars that are not being worked on covered up. This car is getting prepped, this Volkswagen, not our normal restoration, but we've done several cars. He's in the island of Anguilla. We actually did a YouTube video on the first car that we did, which was a Morris Minor.
This is the same guy. Yeah.
But this was his mother's car. This is a Copo Camaro. Also belongs to the gentleman here.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's his.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
Jesus.
You know, his collection.
This guy's out of control.
Yeah, his collection.
I like it.
You know, goes from prototype cars of a Lincoln Continental to his mom's Volkswagen to a Morris Minor, and then one of the fastest production race cars in the country. There are only 69 of these built in 2015. This one doesn't even have a mile on it. This is a Firebird, 68 Firebird convertible.
Yeah,
you don't see the beauty of it, but it's a total custom Pontiac Firebird convertible. But this Model T's been in the family for a long, long period of time. We just got the engine back.
Yeah.
It's in it. It's almost ready to be delivered. This has been in their family for a long, 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 long time. Then you have MGs and Thunderbirds that we're working on. All these are from here on out are full body off restorations. Matter of fact, this little Alfa Romeo, we just did minor work. We bought this actually from one of our customers, but we are getting a deposit today. This is being shipped to a gentleman in the UK. This Ford truck is actually a gentleman that's a local contractor. It's here, and we're rounding third, heading home on it. So it's very close to getting done.
Yeah.
And this actually came from another shop that had been there since 1998. We just got it a little less than a year ago. But we basically started over with everything that the other shop did. That just actually came back from the Motorama up in Atlanta that Summit sponsored as one of the top 20 built cars in the South. And there were 4 out of the 20 cars there, 4 of them were Riddler Award contenders. So there were some just unbelievable cars, unbelievable people and owners that were, I think there were 1,500 cars. But I would have to say that this was one of the most looked at, photographed, discussed cars out of all the cars that were there. This Roadrunner, that's an interesting story. This has been the dream car for this guy his whole life, and he reached a point where he felt that I'm going to invest the money to do this car. We did a lot of searching. Mike, who's afraid to walk in front of the camera, he
got him already.
Did a lot
He's
of
on
research. He flew all over the country trying to locate a 69 Roadrunner 446 pack car.
Really?
And he found one,
God, I like
believe
this
it or
too.
not, in his home state of Iowa.
No
So he was
kidding.
pretty excited he got to go back to Iowa. Now, it
kidding.
wasn't perfect,
Yeah.
but we brought it back in. It was one of those stories we hear over and over. Restoration for 8 or 10 years, didn't get done. Somebody else bought it, you know, they
Right.
finished it, and, you know, obviously it wasn't done 100% to our standards. So we bring it back in, but it was done well enough that it didn't take a whole lot of work to tweak this thing and get it into the condition that it's in right now. And I think, you know,
Looks nice.
it's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
1926 Packard.
Yeah. That thing's
This
sweet.
was a true barn find from the guy that's owned it, I think, for over 60 years.
Really?
And been sitting in the barn for most of that time. And that's the positive side of the story. The car is almost done, and unfortunately, he passed away. This Duster,
else? Yeah.
another interesting story. We actually just finished a 69 El Camino for this customer.
Right.
I mean, we're just so blessed. We have some just awesome customers, and he's another one of them. But as you can see, this he nicknamed Agent Orange. This was his drag race car.
Here's
this
a
one
little
here,
something going on, right?
Matter of fact, this is the brother of the gentleman that we did the 68 Firebird convertible for. And this is another great story here.
Yeah.
This was his high school car, 1971 Mustang Mach 1. And the one you saw coming in was actually the twin brother to this one, that this one was stored underneath the deck of his house on the side of a mountain in Georgia.
Yeah.
And he's kept this car all these years. It's going to be a concourse body off restoration. The original motor for this car was in the other car. So we're taking the motor out of that car, putting it in this one. He's going to make that his fun race car, and this is going to be his showpiece in memory of
Really?
younger years. And then,
You can see.
you know, matter of fact, we're almost cleared out of the Mustangs, but at one time, I think 2.5, 3 months ago, we had 6 body off restorations going on
really?
on 65 to
Four.
67 Mustangs. Then this is just a spectacular truck. Another great story, another great customer. He actually drove this truck as a kid.
You need to check out these signs and neons. It is absolutely bad as. It is crazy. If you're a car person, any sort of nostalgic person, you just have to see this.
This is all body, paint, sheet
Yeah.
metal fabrication. We got a 41 Plymouth that we're doing right now. This is came in. We're almost in the final stages, getting ready to go into the paint booth.
Right.
We're doing all the body work and paint here, and the customer's going to do most of the assembly for it.
Yeah. So you're just going to paint him and he's going to put it back
He's
together?
gonna- and that happens
Yeah,
sometimes. you
like
know.
a do-it-yourself thing.
Yeah,
You'll
we
do
have
that?
a lot of talented customers too, and
Right.
you know, maybe their thing's not the body and paint, or maybe their thing is body and paint, but they can't do the mechanical side of it.
Right.
This is a Corvette that we're doing, getting very close again to that going into the paint booth. Back there is actually a project of one of our in-house people. That's a 46 Lincoln Zephyr. And he's going to be doing a rat rod out of it. He's a pretty creative guy too. So I think you're going to see a pretty spectacular build on that one as well. Over here we got a 69 Z28 that's getting very, very close. It just came out of paint. Customer was in here yesterday. We're getting ready to go back to assembly. He's owned this car for a long, long, long period of time. Matter of fact, I think we've been talking to him for 3 years.
Really?
And he started the project himself. And as many customers find out, that's not
The easy way to go?
yeah, it's kind of like building the house yourself.
Yeah.
So what happened is, you know, he got the car disassembled and then realized that probably he needs to bring it someplace that has a little more experience doing some of this kind of work.
Right.
And so it was great. Actually, he did a lot of the things that he's competent in doing. and we're putting the car back into body and paint. And then he'll bring the suspension and everything that he's been doing in-house, rear end, at home at his house, and we'll start putting it back together. So this is our paint facility. We do all of our own mixing here. This is a Toyota Land Cruiser that we're doing. Actually, I think the gentleman's in Colorado. You can see back over there, that's some of the memorabilia we're doing also. I think we got gas pumps going on over here, as well as loopsters that we're doing here. We try to, insert that in whenever it's possible, but obviously in a volume shop like we have, there's not much time to do a lot of the restoration. And almost all that restoration we do in-house for ourselves. Occasionally, if it's a existing customer, we'll do a collectible or a memorabilia or a gas pump or a loopster for them. But for the most part, we just do them here as a part of the decoration of the shop. Then out here, I mentioned the Starfire Oldsmobile, very rare car. This is the other Mach 1 that is the twin brother that's owned by the same person. Chrysler 300, this just came in.
Well, that's the one you were talking about. See, I thought that was an Impala.
Nope. That's a fairly rare car as well. So we're getting ready. That'll be going on into the body shop here probably early next week. We've got it staged now, ready to go in. There's a few mechanical items that we're doing, but it's a convertible. So a 300 Chrysler convertible is rare. The gentleman that owns it's had it for quite some time. Again, another wonderful customer. And then we have a lot of vehicles out here that are staged. The Mercedes is in here for some work to be done. I think we're doing paint on that. This is a full restoration on this Chevrolet, 64 Chevrolet. He's actually owns a local business here. He brought it in. We're doing the design work on it. We're going to update all the mechanicals on that one. When it goes out, it's going to be a stunning truck, but we're really building it for practicality and driving because he and his wife, really want to be able to drive this truck, but they want it to run, handle, and drive like a brand new truck. This Eldorado came in. This has been the lifelong dream of this guy to get one, just like that he had earlier, and we spent 6 months locating a car. I couldn't tell you how many cars that we flew to look at to find one that was in this kind of condition. Really? So we're doing some mechanical stuff on it right now. He went back up north. He'll be back down here in a few months. We have it booked with a slot. We normally don't do this, but because of the situation, we're storing the car until we're ready to bring it in. This Land Cruiser, same thing. They were, I think, they're from up north. But they were going back up, and we're doing mostly mechanical on this.
And it looks in pretty good shape.
It is.
What year is that?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
70s? It's old, no?
No, it's an older one. But the onus behind it was they wanted it here, and they really had no way when they went back up north when it came open for a slot in the mechanical shop. So we brought it in and said, as soon as we have an open slot on it, then we'll definitely bring it in for you. There's a Trans Am that we're finalizing. That one's almost done. This custom 54 Chevy or GMC, it's getting very close to getting done. All right, so that's kind of the mini tour for today.